Hello, my name is Itai Levitin, and I will be looking at Tata Consultancy Services, ticker TCS. Is it a buy? I think it will be soon. There's a good potential, and we will soon be looking at it. We will also be looking at the chart, what sort of a story it's telling us. And it takes a lot of experience to sort of know these things, and even the experienced ones are continuing to learn all the time. And we will not touch on the whole theory, but we will look at a few things that may be interesting. Now, we see that on 7th of April, 2025, this is right after, at the beginning of April, we had Trump coming out with a blasting off on the tariffs. And then market crashed even more, the entire market, not only TCS. And on the 7th of April, there was some information from the Trump's administration that the market perceived as being a step back from the tariffs. And we see that over here, a big candle, okay, which is very close to these lows over here. Okay, that's the first thing that we're going to see. Please remember that. Okay, let's, by the way, look at what was the percentage change of this move from the low to its high. 9.43% from the low of the high of that day. Not only is that a major move, and we'll be going now to a zoom in. Not only that, we also see that the next 5 to 7 days were on the upper part of that huge candle. Okay. If, for example, we would look at that this move, then the middle is about here. All these candles are above it, and then it continues to travel upwards. Okay, even the retracement is just above or just at these highs. This is number two of the story. Okay, and this is number three of the story. Okay, we have the number one was this huge increase at a place where it makes sense for the dip. Number two is the days after, okay, being also at the top of this range. And number three is also a strong continuation. Okay, not only that, we can also look at the price drop from the all-time high. We're talking about approximately 32%. Okay, look how beautiful, by the way, this went exactly to the middle, but that's a side point. Now, usually a correction of 20% is very healthy. Here we have 32. So that's number four in our storytelling. The chart, we're being like detectives, and the chart is telling us a story. Now I've put the anchored VWAP from this day, from this pivot low. And this shows the upper standard deviation, and this shows the lower standard deviation, with this purple line being the VWAP. Okay. Now, there's also other levels that won't bother you, but there's other levels from basically from liquidity analysis that have done not through these charts. I can't provide all the full details not to bother you. But basically, there's other levels that we can get to if market makers and institutionals want to even hit the stops of a few longs, and we're ready for also lower prices. We might not get there, but this place over here is our net of buys. Okay, it's still not there. We're still not there. We're waiting for the price to go down a bit more and fill in our first order, okay, which is going to be at 3,368, where we're going to buy 100 shares, just as an example. Okay, our first buy order is going to be at that level. Note that it's just above the first lower standard deviation of this VWAP. The second buy is going to be at 3,292, which is also below the 3,300 round number. And our third buy is going to be at 3,207. You can look at the article where I will embed this video, and you will see the average weighted entry if all these three are hit. Okay. And then we also have a stop. Our stop has to be below this. Okay. Why? Because a lot of people are seeing the scandal. So they're saying, okay, let's put our stops here. If your stop is too close and too obvious where others are going to be putting it, you're exposed to being stopped out. In our case, our stop is also under the 3,000 round number. Round numbers also attract a lot of orders and a lot of psychology. People are wondering, will it get to the 3,000? Will it cross down to 3,000? More than they talk about 3,117 as a non-round number, right? So this is the plan. And we're basically trying to buy a local dip after the big story told us that TCS is probably headed higher. Okay. Our profit targets, you will see in the article, are quite significant. But before we go there, we will talk shortly about risk mitigation. You will see in the article what we're about to do. We're going to put a stop. Let's say our average entry is here. We're going to put a stop, a certain stop of X, for example, 10%. After we get to the 10%, then after we get to the same risk that we took initially, we're going to be taking 50% off the position. If, for example, we bought 300 stocks, we're going to be selling 150 over here and staying with 150 more for the longer term. Okay? Longer term, in this case, we're talking about a minimum of 2 years, but that's up to you. Some people will get to these sort of highs or 4,400. If it gets there, we'll decide I'm going out, and I made about 36% on my money. Okay. Some will decide never to sell, and this baby might be going up to 10,000, right? So you never know. So what we're doing on part of our position, we're taking like a quicker profit target. And when we do that, we're also raising our stop to the entry. So it means that if price reverses on us, we're not going to be losing money anymore. Okay. So that is the method. Please have a look at the article. Remember, there's no guarantees, but you can learn here how to buy dips. Buy dips is something that a lot of people are talking about. Yeah, let's buy the dip, but how exactly do you do that? And this shows you an example. Thank you for your attention. Please visit investinglive.com and have a good investment. Thank you.